On a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly afternoon and evening, and warmer tomorrow, highs 78 to 84. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Currently at the Big O Country Studios, it's
10:06, and the temperature is 68 degrees.
Since 1983, Bill Shuford Heating and Air has been providing dependable service and quality products to the Cleveland County and surrounding area. And the tradition continues today with quality American Standard heating and air conditioning systems. Plus, if you need a repair, Bill Shuford Heating and Air services all brands including Trane. Just call 704-484-0025 for Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby, your American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. It's where your comfort is our concern.
Former club members Denzel Washington and Jennifer Lopez for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future.
You can change a child's future. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
You can open doors for children to have great futures at the Boys and Girls Club of Cleveland County. Visit us at 412 West Sumter Street or at greatfutures.org.
Name brands at low discount prices. That's what you get with Barrett's Floor Covering in Kings Mountain. Come in now for the new selection of top quality nylon carpets, including the nylon Stainmaster carpets. And when you buy Stainmaster carpet and add the Stainmaster padding, you get a big 3-year warranty. Plus, you'll find a wide variety of laminate and wood for your home or business. No matter where you live, it's worth the drive to Barrett's Floor Covering, Dixon School Road, Kings Mountain. Good morning on this Monday, the 19th of August. It's 8 minutes now past 10 o'clock, and Milton Baker, Sandy Alexander, along with you here for the Community Profile Program. Sandy, the executive producer of the show, as well as co-host. Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning, Milton.
A little rain out there today. And
yes, it is.
It's you brought that rain with you to the station.
I did not mean to.
No, it was not raining until you got here.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, and there's just sort of a cloud just kind of hovering over you wherever,
and
over your car.
I used to having a window at my back. The old station, it was way up there. We couldn't even see it.
You can pull the shade there if you want to. Well, it is good to see you again. We haven't been on the air since last Wednesday. Of course, the Community Profile is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here on Big O Country. We take Thursday and Friday off as holidays every week because they only come once a week. Those days.
Well, I did want to tell you, I don't.
Can I just make a comment?
Yes.
Your headsets aren't on right. You got one ear facing due east.
No wonder it didn't sound right. Now, what was I going to say? Stop it, Milton.
Stop it, Sandy. David Allen is our guest today,
yes,
and he thinks we're crazy. He knows me for a long time, so he knows I'm crazy. How long have you known David?
A little while. I was just going to tell our listeners too that Mr. Ed Hill texted me from Memphis to wish you a happy birthday.
I appreciate Mr. Ed Hill.
Was
doing
that not nice?
Now, this is a man who has sung with the biggest star in entertainment of all time, Elvis Presley. And he remembered it was my birthday and texted me a happy birthday.
Was that not nice?
That was really nice. Appreciate that.
He said he was sorry. He meant to say that. And I just couldn't get over the fact I got a text message from Ed Hill. It just thrilled me.
Yeah, and you said you had a lot of people commenting about it.
Really did. It was a good interview, and he's so good and sincere. So everything he said, it was the truth.
All right. David Allen is here. Introduce David, if you will, please.
I'll be happy to. David Allen is the new principal of Shelby High School. He's getting ready to roll up his sleeves, crack that whip, get them youngins in line.
Oh, first day of school is when, David?
Monday week. So, we got a
this week, and the kids will be back on Monday. So we're excited, looking forward to it.
And is this your first year at Shelby?
First year as principal.
Principal.
This will be my 19th year at Shelby High. So,
okay.
While I'm new to the position, not new to the school, so looking forward to using that experience. There at the in the building and at the school to my benefit, obviously.
Yeah, we've kept in touch over the years. Of course, we started out a few years ago working here at the radio station some together, and then you went on into the education field with teaching, and then into administration.
Right. Yeah, I've been in this very studio many times before working. I remember when I first started, we were talking earlier, and I was working ball games, so when the Dallas Cowboys were playing on Sunday afternoon, or the Atlanta Braves, that I would be the one in here punching up the carts for the commercials and things such as that. And I'd done a little bit of everything. Calvin would have the remote broadcast on Saturdays, and he'd have I don't remember what my name was as the dog, but I'd be in the dog costume out on the side of the road waving at people, trying to get them to stop at the broadcast. So, doing ball games obviously a lot over the years as well, baseball, basketball, football, whatever happened to be in season, and I've enjoyed that time as well. But I've hung up my broadcasting earphones or microphone or whatever for the time being while I'm moving into this position at Shelby High.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good for you. And just as you can tell about the studio differences here with everything computerized now, education, schools, it's a whole different world from when I went back in the chiseling things on stone tablets, I guess. No, I graduated just a few years ago, but there's a lot of differences now.
Well, a lot of changes. Technology, obviously, as you mentioned, just here in the studio, the differences that you guys experience in the radio business, and we experience those kind of changes in technology and whatnot in the school building as well. But, I mean, the basics of teaching, good teachers 30 years ago would be good teachers today as well. Okay. I don't think there's that much change in what it takes to be a good teacher. And, we've got some good ones, that we're excited about having at Shelby High, for instance. And, as we do in the county, across the district. But, we're excited that even though times have changed in a sense that, you still want high school to be a fun experience for the kids and a good experience. And so that's one of the things that we're going to kind of try to do a little bit more of this year, getting the kids excited about being in school.
Yeah, and let's see. Now you're a native of Shelby, right?
I am Shelby High graduate. I will say, I'll be honest and say that I've not done the appropriate research to verify my claim, but I think I am the first Shelby High School graduate to be the principal of Shelby High, and so that's to me that's kind of neat, and I'm kind of excited about that distinction if it is indeed true. Like I said, I haven't done the appropriate research to make sure it is, but the folks that I've talked to in reference to it think that that's probably correct. So I'm excited about that piece. But yeah, I'm Shelby High native, or Shelby native, Shelby High graduate, and so I'm excited about the school year.
You spent some time in like say in radio broadcasting, and then in the newspaper as a writer. Correct?
I did. My degree originally from the University of North Carolina was in broadcast journalism. And my first job out of school in the journalism business, though, was in the newspaper. I was down at Little Washington at the newspaper down there was the Washington Daily News. Pretty neat experience for me. They covered a tremendous area down there in terms of just from the distance between schools sometimes was incredible. So I spent a lot of nights on the road covering different events and different ball games, but that was my first experience. Then I got a job in Shelby at the Star, working with Alan Ford there in the sports department, and enjoyed my time there before deciding that I thought I wanted to do something else. And so I actually quit that job and went back to school at UNC Charlotte, and that's when I started working with you guys kind of on a part-time basis while I was in school, and then that's, of course, developed into some, part-time work for a long, long time. But I've enjoyed that. And once I got my degree from UNC Charlotte, got in the school system, got a job, first job actually at Kings Mountain High School in an interim situation, then left there and went back to Shelby High and have been there ever since.
Okay. Sandy, you've worked in the schools as well.
have.
I'm sure you have some good questions to ask.
Well, I was
David.
just thinking that isn't it ironic? You can't wait to get out of high school when you're there, and then when you graduate and go off to college, then you find yourself back at the high school.
Well, it definitely was not something that if you had asked me during my high school career, would I come back or would I be back? I don't know that I would have said yes, not because I had a bad experience or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I told the faculty Wednesday in our opening meeting that one of the reasons why I've had the desire to be the principal at Shelby High was because of a good experience that I had in high school. I really enjoyed high school. Enjoyed the relationship with the teachers and the administrators at that time, and so it was a real positive experience for me. And that's what I'm looking to provide for the students at Shelby High is a positive experience. One of the things that I said the other day is the class of 2002, was planning a 10-year reunion last year, and they ended up canceling it at the last minute because they didn't have enough folks interested in coming back for a reunion.
Oh.
And I said that was sad. That you don't have a group that's willing to come back and reunite because maybe they didn't enjoy their time or maybe they didn't have that close a relationship with other folks or whatever. But I'm looking to, and our theme this year is to restore the roar. I love that. I came up with that. I don't even know. I think it just kind of, I don't know why I came up with that, but I like it. And so, and that's not really to say that we've done anything that we need to get away from or anything like that. Just there's a lot of pride and a lot of tradition at Shelby High. I mean, there's a lot of folks around the community that can remember stories of days gone by and things like that, and those are some of the things that I'm looking to tap into and build on.
Yeah, absolutely. And just as school starts on Monday and this Friday, even before the bell rings Monday, you've got some activities, a little thing called high school football.
Yeah, well, no question. And even before that, Wednesday night we've got our first soccer match. So we've got a couple of matches this week in soccer. Our volleyball team will be in action this week as well. It's a busy time, and I guess that's one of the things that's changed as well because you never would have thought about playing a football game on a Friday night before school started, and yet that's become kind of the norm in North Carolina. When the legislature voted that we couldn't start school until after August the 25th, that really changed several things. One of which was the beginning of practice and things such as that. But our kids have been on campus since August the 1st, practicing soccer, practicing football, marching band, all the different things. And, so the kids, their summers, a lot of them, their summers have been over in terms of obligation, because you can't travel. You can't go to the beach once soccer practice has started or once football practice started, those things. So we've got a lot of kids that are already on campus and already involved, and that's exciting. And, of course, Friday night we'll travel, our football team will, to Polk County for the season opener, and that's a new team on our schedule this year. We've not played them in the past. At least in the regular season. So we're looking forward to starting up that friendly rivalry a couple of counties over. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of the schools and teams around here, new conferences. How was Shelby affected by that?
Yeah, I mean, new conference is neat in the sense that it gets the 4 county teams, Cleveland County teams, back in the same conference for the first time since the Southwestern Conference disbanded a number of years ago. I think the main reason for that back when it happened was, for instance, Crest moving up to 4A at that time when Shelby, Burns, and Kings Mountain were all still 3A. And since that time, Shelby's dropped to 2A, and actually now Crest has dropped from 4A back to 3A. So it's a split conference. It's a 2A, 3A split, but all 4 county schools are back in the conference together. And then you've got the 3 Rutherford County schools, RS Central, East Rutherford, and Chase. And then we've got 2 schools from up in Burke County. We've got Drawn, which is a school that a lot of folks around here are not familiar with, and East Burke are the other 2. So it's a 9-team conference, which, has some challenges there just on that regard. But it has allowed us to kind of some of our non-conference games, like the last few years, Kings Mountain and Crest were both non-conference games, and so now we're able to include those as conference games, so that'll be exciting.
And I'm sure everybody at Shelby High School, and as everybody in Shelby and the surrounding area, is very excited that the American Legion World Series is taking place on your baseball field, and that's taken over a good bit of your campus area for a few days.
Well, it has, and of course we're familiar with that, and that's not a new process now at this point, and so but they've done a lot of work this summer with doing the new Plaza of Champions, getting that ready for the tournament this weekend, and of course they've done a lot of paving to get parking lots available. They've turned a lot of area that we used for other things into a parking lot, so we've had to recreate some areas. We've created a new soccer field, practice field area, because the old soccer field now is a parking lot. So that's had some, we've had some growing pains with that, because the weather this summer didn't really lend itself to moving dirt, because we ended up having to move mud a lot because it rained so much this summer. So they've had Charlie Martin and his group have had a challenge to do all the things that they needed to get done, but they did a good job and got things prepared for the tournament. And now, if we can just get this weather, as you've already talked about, to cooperate a little bit with us tonight and tomorrow night, amazingly, they were able to get through the entire weekend without having to really postpone or run late. Last year with the heavy rains that we got, thunderstorms and things like that, you ended up playing in midnight and later and things like that. And even with the rain that we've had this weekend, it was light and steady enough that they were able to play in the rain, which is unfortunate for the kids. You'd like for them to have nicer weather to play in, but they're still on schedule at this point, and we hope that tonight and tomorrow night go off without a hitch, and we'll see who can win that thing. That's a big deal.
Absolutely.
I can't let David go without asking this question. Who threw the Hail Mary pass in 1975 for the Dallas Cowboys? David, do you know?
You were talking about Clint Longley in that situation there?
No.
The one that Drew Pearson against the Redskins, or the one against Minnesota that Roger Staubach threw?
Yeah, that one.
That's the one.
Thank you, David.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to redeem myself, because one morning Calvin threw me the trivia sheet.
I gotcha.
And I didn't have my pocket with Sam, my glasses on, nothing. And I read it, and I said Roger Staubach.
Oh, Staubach.
And that
Roger
look
Staubach.
I got would have penetrated the room.
Calvin and I have that in common. I think Milton and I have that in common, too, fans of the Cowboys. So
I vowed that I would not talk about it anymore, because I was afraid. And the coach from Gardner Webb, we had him. He knew who caught the ball. He knew it was December 28th, 1975. We just had a ball with him.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
We've given Sandy kind of a hard time about that.
And I'm going to get him on this show.
Well, there you go.
I told her she could fully redeem.
I have called Texas.
Fully redeem herself to get Roger Staubach.
That'd be awesome. I would come out of, if you had that, I would probably leave school to come over and meet
Listen,
Roger
if
Staubach.
I get him, Calvin's going to come here, shut the place down. We're going to have people everywhere.
That's right. My mama would come with me on that one as well. She's a big Staubach fan also.
Well, I did get close. I'm in the Dallas Cowboy headquarters.
There you go. That sounds good.
I got to inch my way even further.
She told me one day, she said, they do know who I am. They got that restraining order. So.
Please, Milton. I'm not going to stalk anybody. I ask politely.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Right. Well, back to school, though, and lots goes on other than the sports. The sports extracurricular activities such as sports and other things. That's all important, building relationships and communication and work ethics and things like that.
Absolutely.
But then you got the nuts and bolts, the reading, writing, arithmetic.
Absolutely.
That's still the basics.
Absolutely. And the education is the key, and that is that's our number one priority, is to make sure that we're doing a good job for the young people that we're entrusted with every day to do, to get them as far as prepared for life, whether that involves going to military or the community college route or the 4-year degree route or going to work. And that's the toughest part, I think, right now, just because the economy's struggling that jobs are tough to find, jobs are hard to come by, but I think we also need to focus and realize that there are some jobs available to young people that do not require a 4-year degree, and for us to kind of lose sight of that is a mistake. And so one of the things that one of the programs that we have, for instance, we have a Microsoft Word an Excel program that kid can take and get a certificate at Shelby High School. Other high schools do as well. But with that certificate that from Microsoft, they can go immediately out and find employment. And with the data centers that we have now in Cleveland County over in the Kings Mountain area, and of course with Facebook and the openings up in Rutherford County as well, that gives some of our kids opportunities immediately upon graduating high school to get out and get into the workforce and make pretty good, make a pretty good salary. And so, we have to keep those things in mind too, that, the days of everybody going to a 4-year college, those days are gone. And while it's important to be ready for those kids that do choose to go to 4-year college, the other kids have to be prepared as well. So, the academics is a big piece, obviously. But, the athletics, the fine arts, Shelby High School has probably one of the finest drama programs, one of the finest orchestra programs. Our band program's on the rise. Our chorus program is outstanding. So, our that's the well-rounded kid that takes all of those things in addition to playing football, in addition to playing soccer. My son Michael, who will be a freshman this year at Shelby High, he's a member of the drum line and the marching band, and he's also playing soccer. He wasn't able to take driver's ed. He's 14 and a half. He could take driver's ed and get that permit coming up in January, but he hadn't had that opportunity yet because he's busy doing other things, which doesn't bother him too much right now. But when that birthday hits and he realizes that he might not be ready to go to the DMV on that 29th of January, he might have a problem with that. But that, those are the kinds of things I think that make kids, feel connected to the school. And that's when you want to come back 10 years from now for a 10-year reunion, is because you were connected, because you were in the band, or because you played soccer, because you were in the Beta Club, or because you were a singer in the chorus, or whatever the case may be. And so, those are the things that we're looking to do for the kids, is give them a lot of opportunities to get involved, a lot of opportunities to be connected, build those relationships, as you already mentioned, and those things are important.
Yeah, and you go ahead, Sam.
I always encouraged the kids that I had the opportunity to talk with, too. Don't take it lightly. These high school years are important. And what they make out of it, it'll stay with them the rest of their life. They can either have a good time, do well academically, take part in curriculum activities, or it can be a bad time for them. It's their choice. Ball's in their court. So, my advice to all the high schools that are starting up, go in there, dig in those books, do the very best you can, get involved with the school, and then down the road you can look back and say, I had a great time in high school.
Absolutely, and of course I couldn't agree more with that. And that's again, trying to get kids away from the thought of, man, if I can just make it to 3 o'clock, once that bell rings at 3 o'clock, I'm out of here. Those are the kids that, when their 10-year reunion comes up, they're going to say, no, I'm not interested. But, the kids that have something to do after school, that have a team to practice with, or have a group to meet with, or, have a function to be involved in something, whether it's community service. So we have a great number of our kids that put in a lot of hours out in the community as well, volunteering, really all over the place. And it really started some really neat programs, and those are things that those kids will look back on. And you never know. I've got a senior as well this year. I mentioned my freshman, Michael. My son, David Ray, it will be a senior this year. And, of course, he's trying to decide what he wants to do next year. He's looking at colleges, and he's looking at career opportunities and things like that. And, that's one of the ways that those kids, decide what they're interested in and what they want to do when they actually leave high school and go to the next step is, well, I got involved with that because of this or this, whatever. Just like D-Ray, he's been coming with me doing ball games on the radio for his entire life. And so, one of the things he's interested in is probably broadcasting, and did a game Saturday morning on this network, and had a good time with that.
Yeah. And that's pretty good for a high school senior to say, I have broadcast a World Series.
Absolutely.
Any Legion ball game.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, I think, that's something that he'll look back on and say, wow, because not everybody has that opportunity. So, he's not sure what he's going to do either, and that's you know, that's always part of it. You don't know what you're going to do, but that you have those experiences that kind of help you push you in the right direction.
David, as principal at Shelby High School or any high school in any city, I guess you get out there and you meet folks in the community, the business community, what have you. That's part of the job too.
Absolutely. You know, that's something that my family in particular has really been giving me a hard time with lately. Mm-hmm. I forget, we were in the mall. We were over at Cleveland Mall shopping around a couple of weeks ago, and my wife and my son were in one area, and I kind of strolled around to another area and was talking to some folks, and so they were giving me grief about it when we got in the car. They were like, "Oh yeah, you walked off and you went over to talk to so and so," and I said, "Yeah, well, you know, that's part of the deal. You have to build those community relations as well, and that's something that you know, that's not something that's done overnight. Even though I've been at Shelby High for a long time and been a part of the community, a lot of people recognize me from my days on TV doing the sports for Headline News that is now out of business, but you know, they don't realize that I'm the principal of Shelby High School, though. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, they'll want to come up and start talking about football, which is fine. I love football. I'll talk with anybody about it. But then when they say, well, what are you doing now? And I say, well, I'm the principal at Shelby High School. And they're like, shut up. You're not the principal at Shelby High School. Yeah. You know, so, but yeah, the community relations piece is big. And of course, that's part of the job that as an assistant principal, you don't get out of the building and do those things very often because the principal's out of the building doing some of those things. So you have to be there running the show, and sometimes that's the case. So we'll see how that goes now with changing roles, because you know, I'm used to being the one that when somebody calls over the radio and says they need something somewhere, I'm usually the one that's going after it or going to do it. And so it'll be interesting this year of trying to get out of that habit of being the first responder, so to speak, but anyway, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a new challenge, and I'm excited about that as well.
One more topic, just want to touch base on, and you mentioned earlier you've got these young kids. You've got their minds to educate, but you've also got their physical person to protect as well at school these days. That's a different thing.
Well,
people, when I went to school, we didn't think so much about.
We didn't think about that.
No, you didn't, and I didn't either when I was in school. But the only thing that I can possibly relate it to when I was in school was when we would have the bomb shelter drills from way back during the Cold War. You know, if we were ever to be in some kind of a nuclear war or whatever with Russia, that, you know, we got to be ready to get under our desk or whatever that case was, and you know, those days are gone, but the idea of keeping kids safe, you know, it really is a major responsibility. Sure. There's no question about it. And, you know, we take that very seriously. We do have a school resource officer that's in our building every day, and that's been that's not a new thing. That's been we've had a resource officer probably since probably 1997, 98 at Shelby High School. So that's been around for quite some time. But I think, you know, each year when you have something that happens like it happened in Connecticut this past year, or, you know, Columbine when it really got started back in the late 90s, those are the things that really get everybody's attention nationwide, and that causes you to do things and change the way you do things to make sure that you're doing a good job of keeping kids safe, you know. And while I feel like we do a great job of doing that, at the same time, you can't get comfortable. You got to stay on your toes, because just when you think, you know, that you've got it all figured out and nothing bad can happen to you, you know, that's when something bad can happen. So that's something that we take very seriously. Our administrative team, our school resource officer, our teachers, and our kids as well, and you know, and we work hard to keep our campus safe.
Okay.
And another thing too, David, is bullying. That goes on too much. Shouldn't be going on at all.
Well, you know, and that's something that, again, that gets a lot of attention, depending on the situation. You know, if you get a parent who is likes to be vocal and likes to call the radio station or call the newspaper or go to the school board meeting or whatever to bring attention to that, then, you know, it gets a lot of attention. You know, and again, that's something that does happen. I'm not blind to that. I know that that we have that kind of thing going on, and our biggest thing is trying to educate the students who witness it to do something about it and to help. Because not everybody's doing that.
No,
not everybody's doing that. I don't want to sound like I'm blowing the horn for my two boys, but my two boys, I know they don't participate in that kind of stuff. Or if they do, I'm gonna light their rear ends up, at home. But at the same time, they may witness that and may not say anything. And so, our biggest thing is for those kids that try to stay out of it. To get more involved and to let somebody know, let an adult know when there's a problem with bullying going on, and then you can address it and you can try to make something happen in that situation. But that's our biggest challenge. And the other piece to that bullying is the cyber bullying that goes on now through the Facebook and Twitter and the other social media, where kids don't worry so much about saying things over the internet. They don't think the ramifications are the same, and they are, because they can intimidate and bully and really ruin somebody's life with that kind of stuff as well. So that's important for us to be concerned about as well.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got 1 week from today when school starts, but there's still lots of work you'll be doing. I guess as principal, you work year round, correct?
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's a 12-month job, and it's been a busy summer. I've had a number of openings this year, so we've got a number of new folks that are joining us on staff. I think we've done a great job with that as far as interviewing and picking folks to join our team and to join our family, really, because we like to think of ourselves as a family. If somebody is hurting or needs help, we like to rally and be there for them and that type of thing. But so we're excited about the folks that we've got coming in. But it is a full-time job, and it's one that we've got a week left before the kids get there, so there's a lot of things still going on. Custodians this morning had the front entrance blocked off, trying to get some wax down. So we're still trying to get the building where it needs to be. We've got orientation. I need to mention that we do have orientation for our freshmen and new students on Wednesday evening. That's from 6 to 7:30. So that's the 21st this week. So we're excited about welcoming our new students, but. Next Monday morning it'll be here before we know it. That's for sure.
Well, have a great school year.
Absolutely.
Anything at all we can do for any reason, just let us know.
Well, I appreciate it. Of course, WHS for so many years has been involved with the Scholar Athlete, along with McDonald's, and recognizing our Scholar Athletes, and we of course appreciate that, and we look forward to continuing that with the and of course then with the Friday night coverage. Brent and Jeff will be doing that with us this year for WHS and for the whatsupshopper.com. So we're looking forward to having them back, and so it's exciting. We appreciate y'all's support, and we look forward to again working together and doing things to help each other.
And one more thing, would you mind giving your phone number out to everybody listening, so on snow mornings they can give you a call?
Oh, me.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you have any questions, you can call us at Shelby High School. That's 704-476-8325. You can call anytime.
Okay.
No, you don't say the snow word at school, and nor at a radio station.
Yeah. Well, who knows what kind of winter we'll have after what kind of summer.
No telling. I tell you what, it's interesting. It was a very mild winter this past year, so Lord only knows what it'll be like this year. That's true.
That's true.
David Allen, principal at Shelby High School. Great to catch up with you on what you've been doing over the years. As like I say, you and I, we've been in contact through the years, through Friday Night Football and stuff. But first time we've had a chance just to really sit down and talk a while. And Sandy.
Well, David, it's so good to have you and get to know you a little better, and wish you the very best school year, your first year as principal. And I hope you get the respect you deserve.
Well, thank you.
And who knows? I may come to a football game.
Well,
learn more about football.
Well, you just come on. We'll be glad to have you.
I got to redeem myself sometimes.
If I have any problems with her, can I send her to the office?
Absolutely. Well, Sandy, I appreciate you calling and getting me over for this morning. So I appreciate your giving me this opportunity, Milton. It's always a pleasure to see you. And, of course, I'm sure we'll bounce into each other at a ball game here or there between now and the end of the year, too. So good luck with that as well.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
All right. David Allen, again, new principal at Shelby High School. Our guest today on the Community Profile, and tomorrow's guest will be
Macy Abernathy, Miss Cherryville.
Miss Cherryville coming in tomorrow. So hope you folks will stay tuned for that. And on Wednesday,
Jackie Sibley will be here.
She is back to talk to us about travel and tourism and all the events in Cleveland County and Shelby for the upcoming month. So we thank you for tuning in today, and we'll see you here tomorrow.
So if you pay for radio, that's going to add up over your lifetime.
It's about $1.3 million.
Wow. Aren't you glad there's still free radio?
Big O Country, WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WC